Well, hi folks, 1st of March now, so I thought I'm going to have to get up to the plot and do something, so I'm going to plant my garlic today, plant a few potatoes in pots at home and sow a few bits and pieces. But it's the first time it stopped raining for about, what seems about a year, so it's blowing about a 50-mile-an-hour wind and it's 3 degrees, so it's still not brilliant, but we've got to get this garlic in, so I'll get that in and I'll show you what I do. So we'll just get on and do it. Right then folks, bloody freezing, so I'm going to get this done quickly. So this is my garlic bed, well just the end of my bed. All I've done, my no dig bed, so I've just put compost on, and all I've done is put about 4 ounces of bloodfish and bone on about a week ago, and all this horrendous rain has just washed it in. There's a big murmuration of starlings coming over. Anyway, forget that. So like I said, yeah, just 4 ounces of bloodfish and bone. Set my rows out a foot apart. I've got a tape measure in just so I can space them out 6 inches. And the garlic in question is my own strain of Shallot White. I've grown this for about the last 10 years, and all I do is keep my biggest bulbs every year and then just split these up into individual cloves. I've done about 50 already, so I'm just going to put these into individual cloves like so. And then we point these with the blunt end down into the soil and the pointy end upwards in the soil. And my rule of thumb is, when I plant them, I hold them like that, and I plant them so just the top of my middle knuckle is sticking out of the soil. So basically the clove's probably about its own depth under the top of the surface, the top of it. So that's my rule of thumb. Easier. Just a matter of pushing them in. Like that. Every 6 inches, I find 6 inches apart is fine, and a foot apart in the row. I plant mine quite a lot later than a lot of people because obviously with this winter, if they've been growing over this winter, they'd have just rotted. And I find that it's cold enough up here for the garlic to actually get its cold snap. Garlic needs a cold spell, called vernalisation or something, which makes the plant, the clove, actually split into more cloves. Because if you plant it, I've tried it before, if you plant it in a greenhouse or a hot polytunnel late on, and it doesn't get that cold spell, it doesn't split into a bulb, it just ends up being one big, and not that big, a clove. So you need to give it a bit of a cold snap. And like I said, up here, there's plenty of time for it to be still cold. I mean, it's like 3 degrees now, so it's cold enough for it to do it now. So I can't add up, 42. So yeah, it couldn't be easier. Every 6 inches, chuck all these in. And job's a good one. No real pests unless you get rust. Give them a bit of a watering in midsummer if they're looking a bit dry, but other than that, there's just not really much you need to do with them. Rust is the problem. That's why I find planting them later tends to be better, because you plant them earlier and people have still got leeks in that have got rust. That can be transferred onto the plants, but because there's nothing in whatsoever now, there's far less chance of me getting rust, and that seems to help. So that's it. Garlic in. I've got 60 to do. I won't bore you to tears, but it couldn't be easier. When you've done that, just fill these little holes in and just leave them, and in a few weeks it should start sprouting, and then we're on my way. So I'm going to plant a few spuds today in pots, and then I'm going to sow my leeks and my jumbo banana shallots. So when I've done this, I'll get on and I'll show you how to plant a few early spuds. Well, hi folks, I'm going to plant a few little potatoes now in pots. Only a couple of pots. So I've got my shallot potatoes. I've chitted them already. If you see, might get a little view of my new dog in a minute. I can't beat that for price. Look at that. And you get them early from these cheap places before they all start to sprout. They're all right. And I've got my cheap potato fertiliser. I'm going to give that a go this time. That was alright. So basically, as always, just any old compost. Doesn't really matter. Compost of your choice. gonna sort of half fill this, put a handful of this potato fertiliser in. Oh, that stinks. Ugh. Give it a good mix up. And then with these I'm going to put 2 seed potatoes in, quite near the bottom, so I'll push them into the compost, as you can see. And then really it's just a matter of filling this up to the top. I don't know where I'm going to grow these because I haven't put my polytunnel up yet, obviously. And I'm not using that greenhouse anymore, so I'll have to grow them in a conservatory. Well, it's not a conservatory, it's a porch. So I'll put another handful of this stuff in, just for good measure, and just mix that up. And that's it, couldn't be simpler. Fill it to the top, leave it somewhere warm once they start sprouting. Keep them indoors until they start sprouting, and then just put them somewhere frost-free and bright. And we should have some spuds by about the end of May, hopefully, a few little early ones. I'll just show you my job. I'll just show you my new dog. Come here, come on, here. Who's this? Who's this? Come here. Come here, don't run off. Come on then. He's not playing ball. Come here. Anyway, no, he's not playing ball. So anyway, what I'll get on now, I'll sow a few leeks, shallots and spring onions, get those going. And then that should be about it, but at least we're up and running. Here he is. Yeah. Here we go, look. My new little doggy, Zorro, the rescue. He was as skinny as a ray because he was a stray, but he's the softest dog you've ever met in your life. I think he's a Jack Russell cross with a bit of whippet, but he's absolutely soft as anything. So we've called him Zorro, obviously, for this. But he should be appearing in a few more vids in a bit because he's soft as hell. Right, Zorbo, come on. Right, that's about it. I'll get my shallots out. Well, right then, folks. Next job today is to sow some spring onions, shallots, and my leeks. I do my spring onions and my shallots in these little 40-cell half seed trays, which you fit into a double seed tray. Sorry, a full seed tray. So I've just filled it up with some. I've got some quite fine seed compost. And I'm just going to dib a little hole in to put the seed in, so I've done those. So with the shallots, these are the Zebrun banana shallots. I'm going to try and just get one in each hole. If 2 fall in, then it's not a big deal, because I can plant a clump or 2 out. But I'll be growing these for 2 months and then planting them out. So I'll start on the 1st of March and plant out hopefully on the 1st of May. And then you get some terrific, really huge shallots out of these that store absolutely fantastically. And they are a revelation. If anyone's tried them, they'll know what they're like. They're really good. So that's that. I'll do exactly. I'm just trying to turn this light back on. I'm just going to push a little bit of soil back over them. I'll do exactly the same for the spring onions, but the difference with the spring onions is I'm going to put about 5 or 6 in each hole, so I've got a clump of spring onions to plant out, as opposed to one single one, and then they just grow into a big clump. So you're basically getting a bunch of spring onions in each part of your row. So like I said, I won't bore you to tears with all this. But I'm going to grow 80 modules of the shallots and just 40 modules of the spring onions. And I'll just show you what I do with my leeks now. This is the sort of thing I grow my leeks in. It's one of these boxes from, I don't know, broccoli this is had in it. And if you go to your local greengrocers, they just want to get rid of these. And I've cut it down a little bit. But it probably holds about 10 litres of compost, but the best thing is you've got a good depth of soil. So if you're growing a lot of plants in one box, then they can get quite big without running out of moisture. So it couldn't be easy with these. Just got my bog standard Musselburgh leeks as usual. And I'm just going to broadcast all these all over the soil and then just give them a quick covering with bit of compost. Probably don't need to put as many as I do because I end up spending hours thinning them out, so I think we'll leave it at that because there's a heck of a lot of seeds. And again, I'll grow these until they say pencil thickness, so if they're about sort of that thick, they'll probably get to be about that tall by May time, and it's just a matter of separating them, transplanting them, and the job's a good one. I'll just cover this with a bit of compost. And we should be good to go. So we finally have got a bit of sowing done. First day of March, throughout all this terrible weather. But at least we're up and running. We've got something going. So that's about it, folks, at the moment. Got my garlic in, got my alliums on the go, leeks, shallots and spring onions going. So that's about it for today, folks. See you later.